श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् श्रीशैलाभिजनाम्बुराशिशिनं श्रीकृष्णतातात्मजं श्रीशैलान्वयदेवनाथसुदयप्राप्तागमान् तद्वयं पादाब्जे नरसिंहताते गुरोन्यस्तात्मरक्षाभरं विद्वद्वृन्दचकोरचन्दिरमहं रामानुजार्यं श्रये श्रीरङ्गसुधामधुसमास्वादयन्तं श्रीरङ्गमहिषी पदपङ्कजात्मजं सुलभाश्रयं सदा मोदसिद्धमद्भुतं भजेऽहं गुरुं तं रङ्गनाथप्रियं सुखासनस्थं हृदयाब्जपीठे चिन्मुद्रयालङ्कृतपाणिपद्मं शुभोपवीतं विमलोर्ध्वपुण्ड्रं नमामि रङ्गं गुरुम् अन्तरङ्गे नमामि योगसम्राज्ञीं विजयां विजयप्रदां श्रीरङ्गार्धासनासीनां करुणामातरं गुरुरूपपरञ्ज्योतिः ज्योतिरूपगुरुः परः अज्ञानमन्दिरं ह्येतत् गुरुविज्ञानमन्दिरं मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः सकृदेव प्रपन्नाय तवास्मीति च याचते अभयं सर्वभूतेभ्यः ददाम्येतद्व्रतं मम मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि वेदवेद्ये परे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासीत् साक्षात् रामायणात्मना. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus will commence our session today. As already mentioned, may this new Sauramana Yugadi, Krodhinama Samvatsaram, bring about all kinds of health, prosperity, cheer, Vivekam, Bhakti, Jnanam by the Lord's grace to all of us. நான் இப்படி சொல்லிட்டேன்னு கோச்சின்றாதுங்க. Krodhinama Samvatsaram. It is supposed to be a Samvatsaram. Every Samvatsaram has a unique significance, isn't it? All the 60 years that we have, each year has a significance. And this particular year is called Krodhi. And Kalam goes along with Desham. Right? Kala keeps changing. Somebody has to go on mute. Kalosmi loka kshayakat pravardha, isn't it? Time comes and time goes. It doesn't wait for any of us. But what it does is, when it comes and goes, it leaves an imprint on the desham, the space, external space as well as internal space. So it is up to us to catch hold of those vibrations and do something about it. So this particular year is supposed to, as the name indicates, Prakriti Mate probably is going to be a little bit annoyed or angry. It may show up in the Panchabhutas, Prithvi, Aptejo, Vayu, Akasham. And with the Lord's grace, we will be able to understand what is happening and tide over such vibrations. Of course, there is nothing to fear. The nature of Prakriti is to be chanchalam. Chanchalam hi manak Krishna pramati balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manye vayori vasudushkaram asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. You should not forget that along with Prakriti is Prakriti's Mahapurusha. They both are there along with anything that is happening around us. So we need not worry. All we have to do is to turn ourselves like iron filings to a magnet. The magnet is always there, not to fear, not to worry. With these words, we'll continue our session today. Anguliyaka Pradhanam Nama Shaktrimsha Sargaha, as it is of course, many of us celebrated yesterday. Many of you are celebrating today. It is worth celebrating every day. Navo navo bhavati jayamano nam keturshasame bhagan devebhyo vidadatyayam prachandrama sthirati dirghamayuhu. Every moment is new. Every moment needs to be celebrated. So we'll, as the later part of this sargam has a little bit of other emotions, we'll start with a good emotion. Om bhuyeva mahateja hanuman martatmajaha abravit prashitam vakyam sita pratyekaranate vanaroham mahabhagye duto ramasya dhimatah ramanamankhitam chedam pasyadevyanguliyakam pratyayartham davanitam tena dattam mahatmana samashvasi bhadrante kshina dukkha palahyasi gritva prekshmana sa bhattukara vibhushanam Bhartanamiva sampraptam Janaki mudita bhavat. We saw how happy Sita Mate became the moment she saw the Anguliyakam. But later on, of course, she gets into a mood where sometimes again she is now in a mood of conversation with Hanuman. Isn't it? That is a Vishwasotpadanam which has happened. That Vishwasam has become multifold with the handing over of the ring. And therefore, she is opening up all her inner emotions. And none other than Hanuman, who can process it in the right manner, isn't it? And so, we are all weak hearts. ஐயோ ஜெகன்மாத்தே நீ இப்படி அழலாமான்னு நம்மளும் எழுதுன்னு இருப்போம் கூட. அந்த மாதிரி பண்ணல ஹனுமான். அவர் வந்துட்டு பொறுமையா கேட்பார். He will listen. Sorry if I spoke in Tamil. Unlike us who may lament in front of the goddess of the universe, oh, you are crying, I will also join you in crying. Instead of doing that, Hanuman processes it correctly and he patiently responds to all her inner emotions. Okay? அது நடுவில் போய் கொளரக்கூடாது. நம்ம லைக் இந்த நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸ் சீரீஸ் ஆர் வாட் எவர் இட் இஸ், ரைட்? வி ஷுட் நாட் கோ அண்ட் ஸ்டர் தி எமோஷன்ஸ். ஐயோ இப்படி ஆயிடுச்சு அப்புறம் அப்படின்னு போகக்கூடாது. He patiently listens because each line has a different emotion. Dishtya sakushali ramo dharmatma satyasangrah lakshmanascha mahatejaha sumitranandavardhanaha. Is he all right? Kushali yadi kakustah kimna sagara mekhalam अथवा शक्तिमंतो सुराणामपि निग्रहे ममैवतु न दुःखानामस्ति मन्ये विपर्ययः. There is no end to my sorrow and despair. Is that because of that they are not responding? Is he properly doing his work? Uttarani cha karyani kurute purushottamah. I have left his house. House இல்லங்க, வனவாசம் தான் அது. இருந்தாலும் வீட்டை நன்னா பார்த்துக்கிறாரா? Many of us have that doubt, isn't it? When the lady of the house leaves the house, the gentleman is supposed to be gentle, take care of the house properly. So she is asking all those questions. Is he taking care of everything properly? Kachinna dina sambhrantha karyeshu cha muhyati. Is he not getting, hopefully he is not getting confused, na muhyati, isn't it? We all don't know how to handle our kitchen the moment the lady leaves, isn't it? Every utensil will look like a new element from periodic table. We don't know what it is, right? Whether we should use the left hand, the right hand. Yeah, is it meant for heating, cooling? So that is what she is asking. Na muhyati kachit purusha karyani kurute nripate sutah. Is he doing all activities worthy of a male person? Nripate sutah purusha. द्विविधम त्रिविधोपायम उपायमिति सेवते विजिगेषु सुहृते कच्चिन् मित्रेषु च परन्तापः. So he is supposed to adopt more than 2 strategies. Could be 2 or 3 strategies. We saw this in the last class, that if you are supposed to win over an enemy, especially somebody like Ravana, you may have to adopt chal, kapat, etc. Isn't it? So you have to open those chapters in the book, which probably Rama would not like to, but is he ready to do all of that? She is asking. Kachin mitrani labhate, mitraischapyabhigamyate, kachit kalyana mitrascha, mitraischapi puraskritah. So Sita Mata is basically talking about how to acquire friends and friendship. It's a two-way process. Is he honoring his friends or his friends honoring him? Both she is asking. Okay. So we are all in the sampradayam of gifting each other, isn't it? It has become so popular that we start expecting, ஐயோ வரலையே ஒரு ஜீரோ மிஸ்ஸிங்காக இருக்கே இந்த கிஃப்டில் அப்படின்லாம் தோண ஆரம்பிச்சிடும். There is one zero missing in the gift. So it is important, give and take is part and parcel of life. The moment such an exchange of things happens, Puraskrita, she is saying here, the process of gifting started in Treta Yugam, பாவம் அப்போலேருந்தே ஆரம்பிச்சிடுது. So unless you honor your friends, you will not get it back. Kachidasha. Now let's go into the next sloka. So basically, Hanuman is not interfering in any of these slokas. Each sloka has a separate emotion. We should imagine, although I am supposed to be reading at a very slow pace, but she would have even told it in a slower pace. We don't know. Each sloka would have its own emotion because it's a very heavy emotion in each sentence. So she would have spent a little bit of time, at least 5 minutes, showing her facial expression, then speaking out in an appropriate intonation. So it is quite itching for somebody to respond immediately. Hanuman is not doing. That's what we should keep in mind. We'll go into the sloka number, I think 19, correct?
Correct.
Very good. Somebody is attending regularly. Kachidashasti devanam prasadam parthivatmajaha kachit purushakarancha daivancha pratipadyate. Very interesting slokam. இது வந்துட்டு this is the cornerstone of our lives அப்படின்னு சொல்லிக்கலாம். என்னன்னா, she is asking or rather telling Hanuman, is Lord Rama keeping all the devas happy? She is going on from friends, keeping friends happy to the lokam of devatas. Okay. So as a human being, we are supposed to do 5 types of yagam, isn't it? Everybody is an expert now. I don't think I have to repeat those 5 yagams. One of those yagams is to take care of devatas. Because without their help, we cannot see, we cannot hear, we cannot speak, but we happily forget them. So on some occasions, we make them happy. One of those is today and yesterday. Any good festival day, we try to propitiate the devas through different types of pujas, yagas, etc. But remember that they are always with us. Okay, without their help, we cannot even move. So we need to be very, very grateful to them. Sita Mata is asking that question. Is he keeping the devas happy? Prasadam parthivatmajaha kachite purushakarancha daivancha pratipadyate. So is he completely dependent on devas is another question she is asking. Right? Is he doing something of his own? Purushakaram. That is this famous question of free will versus destiny. Is he leaving everything to God? So everything, oh God, please take care of me. Or he is also doing something in parallel. This is a very important thing for all of us. Both need to go hand in hand. You should not leave Purushakaram. You should also not leave Devata Prasannata. ரெண்டும் பக்கத்து பக்கத்திலே போயிட்டு இருக்கணும். Otherwise, बैलगाड़ी आगे नहीं चलता है. कच्चिन्न विगत स्नेहः विवासान् मयि राघवः कच्चिन्मां व्यसनादस्मात् मोक्षयिष्यति राघवः. So is he in a state where, because of me separating from him, he should not get into a state of despair or depression. If he gets into it, then how will he free me? In the question கேட்கிறார். Okay. He should not be vigata sneha. He should not be devoid of friendship. Let him not forget that. Without friends, nothing can happen in life. Okay, he can be a Paramatma. That's what she's saying. It's a very important lesson for all of us. Okay. सुखानामुचितो नित्यम् असुखानामनूचितः दुःखमुत्तरमासाद्य कच्चिद्रामो न सीदति कौसल्यास्तथा कच्चित् सुमित्रायास्तथैव च अभीक्ष्णं श्रूयते कच्चित् कुशलं भरतस्य च सुखानामुचितो नित्यम् असुखानाम् अनुचितः. Lord Rama is somebody who is not a person who deserves to be unhappy. He has to be happy all the while. Let him know that. And of course, he has seen a spate of sorrowful activities culminating in me leaving him. Okay. So it starts with the Vanavasam, Kaikeyi Vanavasam, Kaikeyi's statement to Dasharatha, etc. Starting from that onwards, he has only seen sorrow. Dukkam uttaram asadya kachidramo na sidate. I hope he is not getting into a state of depression. And then she goes on to the fact, suddenly she is reminded of her mother-in-law after a long gap. Okay. Kausalyas tatha kachit Sumitrayas tathayacha. Has he received any SMS, email, Instagram updates from his own mother as well as Sumitra? Abhikshnam shruyate kachite Kushalam Bharatasya. I hope Bharata is also sending him news of welfare from the north. So she is mindful of what is happening. Parasparam. Okay. Man nimittena manarha kachicchokena ragavaha kacchinnanya manaramaha kachinmam tarayishyati kachidakshauhinim bhimam bharato bhratrvatsalah dhvajinim mantribhirguptam preshayishyati matkrite. Man nimittena manarha, the respectful Raghava who needs to be respected basically. I hope he's not getting into sorrow because of me. And she's giving, these are all called leading questions. Okay. I hope everything is going well and you have a good relation. Abdina, it's the other person will have to answer yes. You cannot say no, isn't it? Like that, she is asking in many of these slokas that Rama is not getting into a state of depression. It's a clue to Hanuman that he has to answer, yes, he is indeed in a state of depression. Okay, we'll see that later. But she is also saying, Kachin Anyamana Rama, I hope he is not in getting distracted. And somehow he'll come and, help me. Tarayishyati. And in that context, she is remembering, okay, perhaps he is with monkeys and other people. The Sainyam or army may not be enough. I hope Bharata, because of his, love to his brother, Bhratravatsalah, Akshauhinim Bhimam Matkrite Preshayishyati. I hope Bharata, okay, so she is slightly getting, lost with hope with her own husband. My brother-in-law is there. He is a great person. He is there in Ayodhya. He is a Raja now. And he can actually control a big Sainyam. I hope he will at least send a big army from Ayodhya. Okay. Matkrite. So that's the relationship she had with Bharata also. So she is basically thinking of many options here. And she's trying to get into that state of complete hope now. Okay. Vanaradhipati Sriman Sugriva Kachideshati Matkate Haribhirviraihi Urtodantanakayudaihi Kachicha Lakshmanashuraha Sumitranandavardhanaha Astravicharajalena Rakshasan Vidhamishyati. So our mind is wavering from Rama to her in-laws to Bharata, now back to Sugriva. Vanaradhipati Sriman Sugriva Kachidesh. I hope Sugriva is going to help Rama. Matkrite Haribihi Viraihi Vrtaha Danta Nakhaidaihi. So I hope Sugriva is definitely going to help Rama, in my favor. And what is the weapons they carry? Danta Nakha Yudahi. Their teeth and nails are enough. That is their Ayudham. And all these Hari or the monkeys are all Sreshta monkeys, great monkeys. Or forget about them, Lakshmana is there. Lakshmana Shuraha, Sumitranandavardhanaha. So he is somebody who is very, very adept at all kinds of archery. Astravit Sharajalena Rakshasan Vidhamishati. He is definitely going to kill all the Rakshasas and come here, protect me. Raudrena Kachidastrena Ramena Nihatam Rane Drakshyam Kalena Ravanam Sasurjanam. After all this, she is saying one final Banam, the Sita Banam. Okay. So finally, it is going to be, I know it is going to be Rama. Finally, Raudrena Kachit Astrena. He is going to use an astram which is full of Rudram. Today, I mean, Krodhinama Samvatsaram, right? It is probably appropriate. He is going to invoke Raudram in himself. There is a famous shlokam, Sringaram Kshitinandana Viharani. Abdin Aramchi, all the Navarasas, how Rama displays it in different contexts is beautifully rendered in a shlokam. And in that shlokam, this particular aspect comes Raudram, Ravana Bhanjane. So he invokes the Rudra Swabhavam, that of destruction. And in a war, he is going to basically kill Ravana along with all his coteries, parties, sa suhrit janam. And she's saying, Drakshyami alpena kalene. I am definitely going to see this, is what she's saying. So this is the Sankalpam of Virati or goddess. And through this, she is laying the foundation for victory for Lord Rama. See, her mind may wander here and there, but finally she knows who is going to win. So that is what we should note here. Kachinna tadhema samana varnam tasyananam padma samana gandhi maya vina sushyati shokadinam jalakshaye padma mivatapena. Kachinna tadhema samana varnam. So she is now remembering the moment she thinks of Lord Rama and how he is going to kill Ravana. Immediately her mind gets absorbed in his beautiful countenance, his face. Tasya ananam Padma Samana Gandhi. Only she can speak in these words. His face has the smell of a lotus. That's a beautiful, this is Sringara Rasam here. She is somebody who has really enjoyed Lord Rama in all his glory. We should all note that the Avatara Purusha's Divya Deham also carries with it a nice smell with it. Okay. And the whole purpose of the Avatara Purusha is to uplift anybody who is near them. So there will not be any kind of Durgandham. There will only be Sugandham when you go near them. See, the way to uplift is not simply by thinking that, this is somebody who is Paramatma in front of me, but even physically, because we are always drifted by our senses. So there should be something attractive for our senses. To look at him, our eyes should be attracted to his form. Likewise, there is something for the nose also. Padma Samana Gandhi. And who else could have enjoyed that but for Sita Mata? Right? So this is an extremely PDA, public display of affection. Maya vina sushyati shokadinam jalakshaye padmamiva. I know that, he has a lotus face. In fact, he even smells like lotus. But unfortunately, there is no water there, which is me. Without me, that lotus will not be blooming. And he will be in a state of sorrow, just like a lotus, gets dried. The moment there is no water, Padmam, Ivatapena. And he probably would be dried right now. That's what she's saying. Dharma padeshat tyajatascha rajyam Mam chapyaranyam naitah padahatim nasid vyata yasya nabhirna shokaha kachit sadhairyam hridaye karoti. Very touching sentences here. So he is somebody who is known as Dharmatma, isn't it? Dharma Padeshat is somebody who causes dharma everywhere, wherever he goes. Rajyam Tyajataha Mam Chapi. So he left all his kingdom the moment Dasharatha, his father, instructed him. Unfortunately, my wife has a special request for you. Right? Please, I am going to set you free. அப்படின்னு வனத்தில் விட்டுறார் பாவம். அப்போலேருந்து ஆரம்பிச்சு, we have both treaded the forest actually on foot, on barefoot. Nasetu yata yasyana bhirna shokaha. Right? He did not, when he left Ayodhya, not for once did he have any of these emotions. That's what Sita Mata is saying. He did not have a sense of fear, anxiety, grief at heart. I hope he is continuing with that state right now. That is what she is saying. Okay, she has two minds on Rama. That he is a solid person. He is unshakable. So therefore, although I am not there, and he may be like a dried lotus, but he is continuing to retain his state. Nacha asya mata na pita na nanchananyah snehad vishishtosthi maya samova tavat duta jijivishayam yavat pravrittim shrunuyam priyasya. This is an extreme statement to be marked, where she is saying Rama's love for me transcends his love for his Mata, Pita, etc. Okay. His love for me is supreme, unassailable, and I know that for sure. And Duta, O Hanuman, you are his messenger. I wish to survive till I hear from him. Yavat pravrittim shruniyam priyasya. I'll keep myself alive until I hear from him. This is what she is saying. Basically, extreme statements of love and affection that is quite transcendental. Okay, it's unimaginable to look at all these are all ideals, of course. And the kind of love and affection that Lord Rama showed to everybody, and the fact that, to his own consort, he has shown the ideal maximum love that's possible. Itiva devi vachanam mahartham tam vanarendram madhurarthamuktva shrotum punastasya vachobhiramam ramarthayuktam virarama rama. So she gets into a state of, it's a mixed state of emotion. She has full, complete love on the one hand, despair on the other hand, hope lost somewhere. And then with all these great words, Mahartham, so Vanarendram, Madhurartha Muktva, these are all beautiful honeyed words that she has spoken. So she is looking at him, awaiting him to respond now. Okay, now is the time. The director, script writer is saying, Hanuman, speak. Adina dialogue marakakudadu. So he is now going to speak now. What is Hanuman going to speak? Sitaya vachanam shrutva marutiri bhima vikramaha shirasyanjali madhaya makyamuttaram abravit. He keeps his hands above his head. Shirasyanjali madhaya. Okay. That is today we do that to escape from people. Amma taye to do. No. He is showing that to show utmost respect to her. Okay. Because I have not seen this kind of love anywhere. He has seen on the other side of the ocean. Right? Till he sees Sita, he has no conception of how she is as a lady. Okay. She has heard all the love that Rama, you are supposed to be a Raja and you're always thinking of her. Angen Kalabi inga vandirukar. Inga vanditu paatha inda party ipdi irukanga. So basically, he is now seen Sita Mata in her entirety. And we can only imagine Hanuman's heart. Okay. It would be full of respect, love, and a deep sense of appreciation. And therefore, there is nothing else he can do but to lift his Shiras Anjali Madhaya. Okay, this Anjali Mudra, Anjali Parama Mudra, it brings about a state of happiness that no other mudra can depict. Shiras Anjali Madhaya, Vakyam Uttaram Abravit. What did he say? Natvami hastam janite Ramah Kamalalochanaha Tena Tvam Nanayatyashu Shachimiva Purandaraha Shutvaiva Tocho Mahyam Kshipramesyati Raghavaha Chamum Prakarshan Mahatim Aryaraksha Guna Sankulam. So he starts to provide that sense of hope to Sita Mata, right? So she's saying, Natvam ihastam janite. So you have spoken so much about Rama that, he will come here, why is he not here, etc. Remember one thing, that he doesn't have Google Maps with him. He doesn't know that you are here. That's what it is. Natvam ihastam janite. தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா இப்போ next second he'll be here and he will kill Ravana. Tenatvam nane ashu shachimiva purandaraha. Just like Indra rescues his wife Shachi in a very quick manner. The moment he knows where she is, in a similar manner, Rama will come and help you. Don't worry about it. Shutvayutu vacho makyam Kshiprameshiti Raghava. How will he do that? Because I am here as the Duta. I'm going to communicate him exactly your location and your state. And what will he do? Chamum Prakarshan Mahatim. He is going to come here with a very big army, Chamum. And that army, whether it is from Sugriva, Bharata, etc., don't worry, okay? Mahatim. And basically it will have Haryaraksha, Gana Sankulam, all the monkeys, bears, etc. Vishtambhaitva banogaihi akshobhyam varunalayam karishyati purim lankam kakutstha shantarakshasam tatrayajantara mrityuhu yadi deva sahasuraha sthasyanti pathiramasya satanapi vadhishyati. So all confidence, CBM, confidence building measures. What is he saying? Vishtambhaitva banogaihi akshobhyam Varunalayam. So he is going to come here along with his army, right? And he is going to make this ocean dry. Varunalayam. Karishyati Purim Lankam Kakusta Shantaraksham. With such a big army and all the weaponry, he is going to kill all the Lanka Nivasis and make them devoid of all Rakshasa, Shantarakshasam. And remember that in the process, Hanuman is telling this to Sita Mata, whether he encounters anybody in the following manner. Who are they? Mrityuhu, the Lord of Death, Yama. Devaha, Saha, Asuraha. There can be an army of Devas or Asuras who can confront him when he is trying to help you, protect you. Sthasyanti pati Ramasya satanapi vadi. She is going to kill all of those who are going to oppose him, including Devas and Asuras. So this is the beautiful statement that Hanuman is giving. That shows his own confidence in Lord Ramachandra, isn't it? To be able to say this statement, you should have assessed Rama's Veeram, and he is actually helping Sita Mata's emotions also. तवादर्शन जेनार्ये शोकेन स परिप्लुतः न शर्म लभते रामः सिंहार्दितैव द्विपः मलयेन च विन्ध्येन मेरुणा मन्दरेण च दर्दुरेण च ते देवी शपे मूलफलेन च यथा सुनयनं वल्गु बिम्बोष्ठं चारुकुण्डलं मुखं द्रक्ष्यसि रामस्य पूर्णचन्द्रमिवोदितं. However, remember that it is just a matter of me communicating to him and he'll come with his army and kill Ravana, etc. But his state is still something of grave concern. He is definitely in sorrow. Okay. Tava adarshane, he has not seen you for so long that he is indeed in a state of sorrow. And na sharma labhate Ramaha. Rama is no more Rama Sharma. Sharma means a state of peace, happiness, balanced state of mind, right? All of those are there in the last name called Sharma, which as we have sent it to the last bench. Na Sharma labhate Ramaha. Sorry, I'm sorry if there is a Sharma here. Please excuse me. This is Krodhi Samvatsaram. I know that. Ramaha Simhardita Ivadvipaha. Okay. Just like an elephant which is tormented by a lion, in a similar manner, he is in a state of sorrow. However, don't be in a state of despair. I am going to give this promise. அப்படின்னு ஹனுமான் சொல்றாருங்க. So this is a very important promise that he is giving. And look at what we all make a promise now. What do? அம்மா மேல சத்தியம், அப்பா மேல சத்தியம். அவ எப்படியானா போய்க்கிட்டோம். அவ மேல சத்தியம். We promise on top of our mother parents, isn't it? Someday whenever we were kids, we used to play. புஸ்தகம் எங்க வச்சிருக்கேன், அம்மா மேல சத்தியமா நான் அடிக்கல அப்படின்னு. Right? God promise, mother promise, father promise, right? We don't mind how they become, but we give promises on their count. Here, Hanuman is interestingly taking Shapat Grahan on mountains because he is a monkey, isn't it? So whatever he relies on, that is what he promises. That is, நம்ம சாப்பிட்ற சோத்து மேலே வச்சு சொல்கிறேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவேன் இல்லையா? Whatever gives us our livelihood. For monkeys, the livelihood is from mountains. So I am going to promise on behalf, with keeping the mountains like Malaya, Vindhya, Meruna, Meru Parvatam, Mandara Parvatam, Dardurena. There is another mountain called Dardura. And not only that, I am also going to make a promise on top of Mula Phalenacha. All the roots and fruits. We are all vegetarians and vegans. So that is what makes us alive. So I give you a promise. What is that promise? Yatha sunenam valgu bimboshtam charukundalam. Right? The Kundaladhara Ramachandra, in such a manner, I am going to make a promise that Lord Rama, who has Sunayana, his eyes are really beautiful to look at. And Bimboshtam, his lips are all also in a manner which is in the form of a bimba fruit. And he has lovely earrings, Charukundalam. And he is definitely going to, you are definitely going to see his face. Mukam Drakshasi Ramasya Purna Chandram Ivoditam, just like a full moon that rises in the sky. You are definitely going to see his face. This is the promise I make to you on behalf of mountains and food that I eat. Okay, what a beautiful, extreme way of promising and building trust. Kshipram drakshasi vaidehi ramam prasravane girau shatakratamivasinam nakaprishthasya murdhanin namamsam raghavo bhunkte nachapi madhusevate Vanyam suvihitam nityam bhaktamashnati panchamam kshipram drakshasyaidei. Very soon you are going to see Lord Rama in this Prasravanagiri. Okay, geographically, that's the first mountain we saw, isn't it, in Sri Lanka. And he is going to sit on top of that mountain just like Indra on top of Airavata. Shatakratam ivasina nakaprishthasya Muddhani. So in other words, I am going to bring Rama here. You are going to see him. Aptin confidence kuduttu, he says Rama is in despair. Okay. So he doesn't say Rama is in despair now. You didn't see Sita will once again go back to her previous state. So to avoid that, he gives this kind of trust and confidence. Now he reveals that, Rama is indeed, he has forgotten eating. பெரிய கான்ட்ரவர்சி இடத்துல நமாம்சம் ராகவ புங்க்தே, he is not eating meat. And nachapi madhu sevate, he is not drinking also. Okay, madhu is wine. Vanyam suvihitam nityam bhaktam ashnati pancham. He is only eating he has gone into, what is that called? A diet program now. He's eating only 1/5 of what everybody has advised him, panchamam. And everything is vegan. It is completely a tree and its parts. அந்த மாதிரி தான் இருக்கு. Vanyam, suvihitam nityam, whatever he can catch hold on from a tree, either the leaves, roots, fruits, flowers, he is eating all of that like me. அப்படின்றாங்க. Bhakta Mashnati Panchamam. Interestingly, he is saying that Rama is not eating meat and drinking. அப்படிங்கிறது. So this is something that we should keep in mind, that Lord Rama is, of course, a blue-blooded warrior. He is a Kshatriya. And you cannot, if you eat curd rice and pickle, you cannot fight and win over others, isn't it? So you need that kind of proteins to refurbish your body. And Kshatriyas, it was okay for them to eat this in those days, and even today. Okay, it is as per the body's dharma that one is supposed to eat food. Whatever we eat is what we become. These are all statements from Upanishads, not from any of the modern day gurus. Annadvai praja prajayante jatanyannena vardhante in Upanishadla ellam sollirukku. Annam brahmeti vyajanate. So whatever is required in order to continue the dharma for which we have taken birth, that is what we should eat. And one of the items here is mamsa, and of course, perhaps to release and relax his tensions, madhu is another thing which he used to consume in moderation, of course, not like tasmac or whatever it is. Yeah. So he is somebody who is well aware of moderation. He would do that only when required. Naivadam shanna masakanna kitanna sarisripane raghavo panaye dratrate tadgatenantaratmana nityam dhyana paro ramo nityam shokaparayinah nyanyachintete kinchite satukama vashangatah. Let me complete this sargam. Naiva damshat. Lord Ramachandra, he is in such a state of dhyanam of yourself. Why is he in a state of sorrow? Because he is completely meditating on you. Okay, nityam dhyana paro ramaha. Nityam shokaparayanaha, because he is thinking of you. Interestingly, if we think of somebody and that person is in a state of happiness, it can be scientifically proved that you will also get into a state of happiness. If that person is in a state of sorrow, when you are thinking of that person, you will also get that tinge of sorrow. Therefore, this mind can travel quite far. It is very important, therefore, where do you invest your mind? Okay, Patanjali போய் கேட்கணும். அவர் கேட்டால் ஒரு பெரிய புக் கொடுப்பார், யோக சூத்திரங்கள். It details how we should. It's an investment. Any use of mind is an investment. You use it in such a manner that you are able to achieve what is required for this life. So this is reflected here. Because Sita is in a state of despair and sorrow, no wonder the moment Rama, the purest form of Prakriti and Purusha, thinks of the purest form of Prakriti, the reflection is immediate. So he also gets into a state of sorrow. And nanyate chintayate, he is not able to think of anything else, madam. We are all there next to him, Rama, Rama, and kuttu paakram. Our kosu kadikirade, damshat, mashakat, kitat, all kinds of leech insects are all around him. Sarisripaha, even serpents, they are all growing on his body. Valmiki mari aitar avaram. He is not worried about it. This reminds me, there was one person, one of my close friends. Bangalore and Chennai are famous for a great insect, which is mosquitoes. Okay, so this friend of mine, he went into such a state of sleep. There are some 200 mosquitoes on his body. Literally, I saw this, but nothing was influencing him. I'm just reminded of that right now. So if you get into a state of complete forgetfulness of your body, uh, you will ignore your body. That's what has happened here. Okay. And Raghava Apanayet, he is not mindful of any of this. கொசு வருதா கடிக்கட்டும், பாம்பு வருதா வரட்டும் அப்படின்னு உட்காந்துட்டார். He is in a complete state of sorrow. That is what he is saying. So this is to create an impact on Sita Mata that don't worry, your husband is not enjoying like Tangamani, going to shops and drinking madhu. He has forgotten madhu completely. And he is not even mindful of his own body. He is completely meditating on you. That is what he is saying. And Antaratmana, Tadgatena Antaratmana is very important. It is not only wishful, mindful, intellectual thinking. He is going to the level of Antaratma. Atma varaikkum poitar அவர். That's what is important. Okay, மைண்டில் இருக்கும். இப்போ இருக்கும்னா 5 seconds கழிச்சு ஐயோ பால் பொங்குறதே அப்படின்னு அங்கே போயிடும் இல்லையா? So it immediately vanishes. The moment it is at the level of mind, it is like a tube light. But the moment it goes to the level of Atman, then it gets into a state where Kitat Sarisripat Apanet Naragavaha. Anidra Satatam Ramaha Suptopi Chanarottamaha Siteti Madhuram Vanim Vyaharan Pratibudhyate Drishtva Phalam Va Pushpam Va Yadvanyate Sumanoharam Bahusho Ha Priyetevam Shwasanstvam Abhibhashate. அனித்ரஹ சததம் ராமஹ சுப்தோபி ச நரோத்தம. கண்ணு மூடியிருக்கு ஆனால் தூங்குறதில்லை. ஓகே, ஹீ இஸ் க்ளோஸ்ட் ஹிஸ் ஐஸ் பட் ஹீ இஸ் நாட் ஸ்லீப்பிங். ஹீ இஸ் கண்டினியூஸ்லி lamenting and he is letting out madhuram vani, a beautiful string of words, sweet words called Sita. சீதே சீதே அப்படின்னு சொல்லிகிட்டே இருக்கார். அப்படிங்கிற வியாகரன் பிரதிபுத்தியதே. And he is not looking at all the phalas, pushpas, and the great, forest. Nothing is influencing him. And he is only continuously saying, Ha Site, Ha Priye, oh my love. And he is completely drunk with your thoughts only. Sadevi Nityam Paritapyamanaha. Sorry, I will have to complete this. Let me complete this, okay? सदेवि नित्यं परितप्यमानः त्वामेव सीतेत्यभिभाषमाणः धृत पुरतो राजसुतो महात्मा तवैव लाभाय कृतप्रयत्नः. सदेवि नित्यं परितप्यमानः. He is ever thinking of you and he is getting into a state of tapam. He cannot bear that separation from you. And Sita iti abhibhashamanah. Just like you are doing Rama Japam, he is doing Sita Japam. Dhrita Vrataha Rajasutaha Mahatma is somebody who is bound by vratas. Okay, whatever vows he takes, he is a Mahatma. Tavaiva labhaya krita prayatna. Just in order to procure you back to his own kingdom, he is doing all of this. Sa Rama Sankirtana Vita Shoka Ramasya Shokena Samana Shoka Sharanmukhe Sambudashesha Chandra Nisheva Vaidehi Suta Babhuva. So the dual statements here that Ramanuடைய சங்கீர்த்தனம் தானே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கார் Hanuman. He is so far singing praises of Rama. Having listened to these beautiful words from Hanuman, Sita also gets into a state of Vita Shoka. Her sorrow disappears because at last all my own state of sorrow has not gone waste. Okay, என்னோட புருஷன் என்னதான் யோசிச்சுட்டு இருக்காரு, he has not forgotten me அப்படின்னு ஒரு சந்தோஷம். Okay, she gets that happiness. ராமஸ்ய சோகேன சமான சோகா. And having listened to, oh பாவம் அது ஒரு லூஸ் என்ன நினச்சிட்டு இருக்கு, he is also thinking of me அப்படின்னு she also gets into a state of slight shokam. Once again, samana shokaha. Sharanmukhe sambuda sesha chandra. So nisheva vaideha suta babhuva. So our state of mind is like a autumnal moon which gets covered with clouds. Okay, the moon is visible yet not visible. So that is the state she is in. Okay, so with these words we'll conclude our Sahitya Shrimad Ramayana Valmiki Adi Kavye चतुर्विंशतिसहस्रिकायां संहितायां सुन्दरकाण्डे अङ्गुलीयप्रदानं नाम 36 सर्गः. May the ring that Hanuman gave to Sita Mata be our ring of protection during this Krodhinama Samvatsaram. Okay.
Abhujanta Shri Chakrakundaladharam Kutilakuntalam Shishum Mandasmitaruchikaradharaputam Purnimaikshyanvitam Mukham Sharasyoddhvagatim Mudraya Vidishan Savyena Pranavam Dhanum Madhye Sustitamugdhashyamalamahan Shri Ramam Bhaje Mohanam Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsara Chirabhava Muktaha Guru Charanambuja Krishna Krishna Sendriya Manasa Niyamayevam Rakshasi Nijahridayastam Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate
कायेन वाचा मनसा इन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्या आत्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि. सर्वं श्रीरामचन्द्रार्पणमस्तु. Have a great day and a week and a year ahead. धन्योस्मि. Thank you.
Thank you.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ನನ್ರಿ.